How's it going, everyone? It's Aaron, Prepping Ohio. I want to show everybody how I stayed warm this winter. This is the King model pellet stove. I believe it's from US Stove. I believe that's the maker. And it's just a simple pellet stove. It burns stuff that looks like rabbit food. Compressed sawdust that looks a lot like rabbit food. This is kind of cool, really. You can break it open and whatever. Apparently they run sawdust through a die at like 5,000 psi, whatever. Doesn't matter. This hopper has 3 bags, 40 pounds, 120 pounds, the total hopper. On this one, I can get 3 days on low. That's 3 bags. That's $15 for 3 days. That I could run this, and the amount of heat that comes out of this thing is insane. And it's got just, this is a cast iron door with this blown glass stuff that wasn't really impressed with, but just like any other wood burner, got this heat shield, I guess, spring. This is where the burn pot is. This is the burn pot. This is what all the heat come from. This little dude right here. That is it. That is what produced all the heat. This little tube up here is where the pellets fall out of. There's an auger inside there that every 5 or 8 seconds or something like that, it spits out, I don't know, 8 or 10 pellets. They fall down into this pot. And this is where all the heat comes from. Now, it's filthy. I didn't clean it. I left it dirty intentionally to show everyone. There's a giant pit over there and a giant pit on that side. Of course, you can't see it, but that's where the ashes fall. There's no ash door on this model. This model doesn't have an ash door. So every now and then you have to shut it down and clean it, which is not a big thing. Big thing is there's clinkers that build up inside this. That's the minerals in the wood that doesn't burn. And you can see there's still some little clinkers in there. I just dumped this out and thought maybe I should shoot a video. Anyway, this right there is the igniter. It's kind of like a glow plug on any diesel engine. It just gets super hot for like 2 or 3 minutes. And it blows the heat in through that hole. That burns the pellets. It starts them. And once they're lit, it's good. It's got its sensors and stuff in there that knows what the temperature is. And it kind of does its own thing after that. This thing, oh my god, this thing probably saved me a couple $1,000 this winter. I never had to run my furnace this entire winter because of this thing. This is the brand of pellets I'm using. I guess that's the name of the brand. Premium hardwood pellets. All natural, no additives. It looks like the most generic type of wood pellet that you can get. And they're all exactly the same price at where I was getting them. And I tried 4 different brands. And it seems like the ones that had the real pretty bag of pellets that were the worst. They're a lighter color pellet. This one is the darkest color pellet that I could find. Which I didn't have any preference when I was doing this. It just, whatever. I noticed that the darker pellets seemed to work better. So I guess that's something good. This is a big thing. That's the outside air intake. That sucks the air from the outside, runs it through the combustor, does its magic shit, and then expels it out. That's a 3-inch double wall pipe. And that's the flue, I guess. Well, this sucks the air from the outside and burns. And I really think that has a lot to do with how efficient this thing runs. If you don't, like any other, like even a fireplace or any other wood burner, if the hot gas is going up your chimney, pulls a vacuum when you're home, any cracks around your windows or doors, it's going to suck the cold air in. Well, I believe that really helped. And this thing is so simple to operate. Where's my finger? Okay. On, off, auger delay, and mode, which I never used. This crap, I never used this, or this, I never used. This is your heat range. There's 5 heat ranges on this, 1 through 5, 5 being the hottest. I rarely run this above 1. On, and it's heat range 1. It does its own thing. Within 15 minutes, you've got heat coming out of this. Amazing heat. Well, like I said, this whole winter, I never run my house furnace. This thing is incredibly amazing. And you can see it. It does make a mess. There's There's dust up here, and when you clean it, dust gets everywhere. Soot. Yeah, it is kind of messy, but this whole winter I didn't have to run my furnace. I didn't have to run any space heaters. We didn't have to use electric blankets. I can't say how happy I am that I made this investment. This thing was like $1,000, and I think I run about 100 bags through it, which is around $500. At $5 a bag, 100 bags, whatever, you get the idea. $500 to heat my house, not counting the $1,000 for this. The only thing I notice about this that I don't like is you can't shut it down far enough. So if it's 40 degrees outside and this thing's running, it's going to cook you out. I do believe if my house was insulated much better, then I would have used considerably less fuel. But anyway, and you can see it's sitting on shims. I did not put the hearth thing underneath it, which they recommend, which of course I will once this thing is going to go over here in the corner, and it'll look pretty and aesthetic to the eye. But for the most part, if you've ever talked to anybody that's had a pellet stove, nobody has ever said anything negative about them. There's all kind of reviews on YouTube, and oh my god, they're definitely worth it. So anyway, I just want to let everybody know this is what we did when it was 20 below for a couple weeks straight. This is what we did. This is what kept us warm. Warm air coming from right through there. This heated my entire home. Okay, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this. Later.